Hi, and welcome to FitMoney's Financial Literacy Curriculum. This is Unit Investing Wisely. During this unit, we will answer the essential question, how do different financial products grow your money and what risks are associated with them? You will also be completing a project where you will create a diversified portfolio and experience the risks and returns of the portfolio through an interactive game. This is lesson 1, interest, the good, the bad, the compound. For your do now, think, what is interest? Where have you heard about it, how it works, or what it does? Is it good or is it bad? Interest is either profit earned on money saved or a fee paid for money borrowed. This is usually calculated as a percent of the principal, where the principal is the original amount that you saved or the original amount that you borrowed. In your handout, you can see two types of interest and a question asking you what the difference between earned interest and owed interest is. Pause the video for a minute and write down the definition of earned interest and owed interest and as many examples as you can come up with. Then play the video to see if your answers match the ones on the screen. Earned interest could be thought of as the good interest. It is interest that is paid to you as a reward for investing or saving your money. That is interest on a bank account or interest you get from lending somebody else money. Owed interest could be considered the bad interest. It's the interest that you have to pay as a fee for borrowing money. Not only do you owe the original amount that you borrowed, but you owe interest on top of that. And that could be for a car loan, a house loan called a mortgage, or on the outstanding balance of a credit card. Now that we've gone over the good and the bad types of interest, we're going to review compound interest. We'll watch the video to the left, and then on your handout, answer the question, what is compound interest? Creating a definition in your own words.
Compound interest is the interest an investor earns on his original investment, plus all the interest earned on the interest that has accumulated over time. It is easier to think of compound interest as interest on interest. To understand compound interest, let's first look at simple interest, the interest earned on the original principal only. Suppose you deposit $10,000 into a high-interest savings account at a 5% simple interest rate for 3 years. The interest you earn each year is 5% times $10,000, which equals $500, for a total of $1,500 of interest at the end of year 3. $500 plus $500 plus $500. Now instead, suppose that you deposit the same $10,000 at 5% interest compounded annually. In year 1, the interest you earn is the same, $500. But in year 2, the interest you earn is 5% times $10,500, the original amount plus the interest you earned in year 1. So the second year's interest is $525. In year 3, you earn 5% interest on $11,025. $10,000 plus $500 year 1 interest plus $525 year 2 interest for an interest payment of $551.25. In total, you earn $1,576.25 in interest over 3 years with compounding interest versus $1,500 with simple interest, a difference of $76.25. The effect of compounding becomes especially powerful over longer time periods as the amount of earned interest becomes larger and larger.
Now pause the video and write down your own definition of what compound interest is. Press play when you're done. A simple definition of compound interest is interest paid based on both the principal and the interest you've earned so far. If we take the same example from the video and graph it, we can see that $10,000 at 5% for 10 years instead of the 3 years the video gave you. Think about which line represents the simple interest And which line represents the compound interest? That's right. The green line is the compound interest, and the gray line is the simple interest. You can see that when they start, you earn the same amount of interest in year 1. But as time goes by, you can see that the difference between the amount earned in compound interest and the amount earned with simple interest becomes greater and greater. This represents the power of compound interest. The longer that you allow your money to compound, the more money that you will earn. Something that really illustrates the power of compound interest is the rule of 72. Take a minute to watch the video and then write down any notes on your handout.
So you've got a chunk of change, and you're smart enough. So you put your money into an account that gains compound interest. So how long does it take for your money to double in that account? Well, to find this out, you need 2 things, your balance and your interest rate. Now, like most things, there's an easy way to find your answer and a hard way. The hard way involves taking the logarithm base 10 of 2 as in 2 times our balance, over the logarithm base 10 of 1 plus our interest rate. Since most of us don't have bionic brains, we can't really do this math in our heads. But our friend Larry is here, and he's going to give it his best shot. We'll get back to him later. Luckily, there's a simple way to approximate how long it takes for your money to double in a compound interest account. It's called the Rule of 72. How does it work? It's surprisingly simple. All you do is take the number 72 and divide it by your interest rate. That's it. It's that easy. The number you get equals the number of years it's going to take to double your money. So let's try it out. Say you have $5,000 in your account earning 4% interest. Now take that magical number 72, take your interest rate of 4%, pull out your phone, text your 2nd grade cousin and ask him how many times 4 goes into 72. He's a bright kid, so he'll tell you the answer is 18. And you'll tell him that he just helped you learn that it will take 18 years for your initial $5,000 to double into $10,000. Let's check in on Larry. That's very nice, Larry. Luckily, with the Rule of 72, there's no need to ever use the hard way.
Using the rule of 72 in compound interest, all you have to do is divide 72 by the interest rate to find out about how many years it'll take your money to double. The video gave you one example, but let's go back to our other example to see if this works. So if you have $10,000 compounded annually at 5% interest, take a second now to decide, using the rule of 72, how long will it take for your money to double? You should have done 72 divided by 5, which would give you 14.4. So it will take you just over 14 years in order for your $10,000 to double to $20,000. If you go to helpfulcalculators.com/compound interest calculator would have found out the hard way that given 15 years at a rate of 5%, your $10,000 principal would become $21,137. You can go to this calculator and play with the years to see what the difference between simple interest and compound interest would be once you reach 20 years or possible 35 years, which is a very important timeline when you're thinking about retirement. So, as a wrap-up question, think to yourself, how does investing earlier help you take advantage of compound interest? That's right. The earlier, the better, because the more time you give compound interest, the more interest you earn, and the more interest you earn on that interest. Interesting.